Good afternoon to my lecturers, Miss Tivilojana, Miss Sufina, Miss Has, and also Miss Eng at the back there. So our group is number 3. So we're gonna present about product designer in furniture. So these are my team members. You can see the pictures out there. My face, Bailey, Junian, Amal, Melvin, Beef, and Brizana. So I'm gonna talk about the meaning of furniture design. What's the meaning of furniture designer? So usually, furniture designer, like they produce designs for furnitures or anything that relates to things like that. And also, furniture designers, they always concerned about the raw materials used for the furnitures. For example, if they use woods, they need to consider the atmosphere moisture to avoid the wood from being ugly, broken. Example like swelling due to the moisture caused to the woods. Okay, next. So this is the outline or synopsis for what my teammates are going to talk today. The furniture designer, which I talk about, design phases, pricing and contract drawing, roles in construction industry, and design process, which is in sketching. Next. So furniture designer, okay. So what are the things that furniture designers need to undertake? Undertake means that they need to commit themselves to. First, they need to let their clients aware what they're doing. They also need to let their clients know that they're doing under CDM, which is Construction Designing Management. So if the clients are aware, so they can proceed to their project. So what is competence? Competence means, the meaning of competence is the ability. So the furniture designer needs to have the ability to design projects and items for the client's staff. So wait, not bad. Okay, next is pre-construction information. So they meet the clients and the clients tell them what they want. And they also need to gather that information to construct the designs for the furniture they're going to make. And they also need to avoid foreseeable risk. For meaning, if they saw that thing is dangerous or contains hazard things, so they need to hazard things which are obviously noticeable, so they need to remove the things up. So for next is red and green list. Okay, red and green list is what every designers, if I'm not mistaken, what every designers need to refer to. It's like a procedure. So for the color red is for if the things that the designers create, if it contains the red list things, the hazardous, so they need to remove it or maybe avoid as much as possible. This goes the same as the orange color, which is called the amber. If the designs has the amber is in the amber list, so they need to avoid it or really avoid it because it's a hazardous. But for the green, it's all positive. So if the furniture design is positive in the green, so they can proceed to the next design. Next. Okay, so now I'm going to proceed to Peggy. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Peggy, and today I and Julian are going to tell you about the design phases. I will be presenting the first 4 phases, and Julian will be presenting the last 4 phases. So the first phase of designing furniture is pre-design, research, and programming. So what do you guys know about pre-design? Pre-design is the phase before you design anything for your furniture. So at this stage, you have to know the brief and client's requirement. If you don't know the client's requirement, you may design the wrong thing. For example, if your client wants a sofa in the living room, but you design a dining chair for him, he probably ask you to design it again, and it will waste your time and money. Next, we have to know the goals and objectives of the design process. By targeting the goals and objectives, we have to use the 5W and 1H concept. The 5W are what, who, when, why, where, and the 1H is how. We have to use this to ask our clients or to the public about what's their requirement. Then we can do some researches for example, the trends of the furniture design and so on. Then we'll come to a programming process. At this stage, the product designer will come up with a timeline. The timeline will provide the product designer a good time management so they can finish their job in time. Then we'll come to the next phase, schematic design. This is the first phase of designing furniture. At this stage, general decision made. For example, what kind of furniture they are going to design and what's the size of the furniture. And the sketches were made by the product designer by doodles or sketch on papers with 5 to 10 ideas. After that, go to the third phase, that will be design development. At this stage, the product designer will refine the ideas from the sketches or doodles made previously. Then they will formulate it into general dimensions and materials. They will provide more detailed information in this drawing. Then they will change the drawings into detailed drawings by computer. For example, the AutoCAD drawings or 3D Max iStudio drawings. Then they will give it to their clients for approval. After their client's approval, they will have fabrication drawings. Fabrication drawings is also known as construction drawings. This drawing will be given to the fabricators. So more specification needed in this drawing. For example, the plan, elevation, the dimensions, and the material used in this drawing for the prototype made. And I will pass the mic to Junior for the next 4 phases.
Hi. After the contract documents complete, the fabricator can determine the time used for installation and the cost for the product. Yeah. The designer is necessary to determine a good fabricator doing their job. This is the meaning of the short drawing, templates, and working prototype. The contract drawing are the set of the drawings that form a part of the contract drawing is a drawing to set a part of legal contract for service between 2 or more parties. Fabrication. Good working relationship between the fabricator and the designer is needed. Designer can observe and monitor the process, assisting when the problem occurs. Coordination between the fabricator and designer is important. Thank you. Now I pass to Amal.
Good afternoon. My name is Amal and I will be explaining the design process involved in product designing. Designing entails the transformation of ideas into physical form. This is the continued process of making subjective and objective judgments. The process involves formulating conclusions about form and functions, analyzing the efforts, and then fusion of all the design ideas to make it into a product. This is called as the conclusion, analyzing, and the fusion process. This is a cyclic process in which the designer needs to revisit the design time and time again. The design is usually started into a process by schematics. Schematics involves drawings, sketching, computer rendering, or model making. But drawing is more than just a means of an end to a project. To a technical designer, it is the way analyzing, seeing, and refining all of his work. Now, there are 4 types of sketches that product designer does. An SK, a party sketch, iterative sketch, and a fabrication sketch. The SK sketch is the most basic type. It is a freehand drawing in which the designer puts the idea as soon as they occur into his mind. They are usually rough and clear and in technical design, but they're the most effective way to analyze the most basic kind of information. Then they are more effective in putting the process of the basic idea in any of the sketches. Then there's a party sketch. Now this is the analytical. This is the analytical and the physical and the spatial components of a design. It is an analytical diagram that helps in developing and understanding the spatial effects of a particular design. It can take form of section, elevation, plan, or in an axonometric design. And it helps in knowing the positional aspects of a design. And it usually helps in materials of fabrication when the design reaches a fabrication phase. Now I pass the mic to Rizana, who will explain the rest of the design process.
Good afternoon, my name is Rizana, and I'll be talking about iterative sketches and fabrication drawings. Iterative means repetition of a mathematical or computational process. Designers evolve and refine sketching, coming up with multiple iterations that involves new designs, improved designs, and previously separated ideas that is joined together to become a final output. Iterative sketches is either made by manual drafting, such as the overlay method of placing a tracing paper over an existing drawing, which is more of a conventional iteration, or by using computer software such as AutoCAD and etc. At the end of this phase, decisions regarding size, proportion, material, color selection, and visual quality will have been explored and generally made. Here are some examples of iterative sketches. Finally, fabrication drawings. They're also referred to as construction drawing, working drawings, and contract documenting. Fabrication drawings are given by designers to fabricators for pricing and fabrication. Designers eliminate remaining designs before fabrication. They usually spend around 30 to 40% of their time in this phase. Towards the end marks the point where designers are satisfied with his or her responsibility to the client for resolving the design prior to fabrication. I'll pass this mic to you.
Good afternoon, my name is Lisa. Me and Melvin will be introducing about the roles of a furniture designer in the construction industry. So let's say that me and Melvin are the furniture designers, and we are going to explain the roles by giving an example based on the situation. The situation goes like this. For example, this university decides to build a building. It's an entirely new building, and in this building there will be several classrooms. And these classrooms, this university actually wants to hire product designers, which is furniture, and to build or to design a table which is suitable for the successors. So let's say now that we are the appointed furniture designers, what do we do? First thing first is that we must communicate with our clients to understand the needs as well as the requirements that they want. For example, they want a table. How do they want the table? Either they not want the usual ones, the round ones, or the square ones, or maybe they want some materials like plastic instead of wood. So we have to understand that before we proceed to communicating with architects as well as interior designers. After meeting with the clients, we will meet with architects and interior designers to understand the location of like in this case is the table, like where should I put the table, where are the amount of space that can be used. After meeting with them, then we will move on to meet with different manufacturers, because the materials that we want to use for the tables have to come from there, and then for different manufacturers, they will provide us different quality of the materials as well as different prices. cost. So the cost will be important as when produced in mass amount, we need to make sure that the whole project stays within the budget. And the second responsibility of a furniture designer comes in the idea forming process. In this stage, like me and Dalby are the appointed furniture designers, we will start by finding ideas or inspiration from any place. Like we will start with sketching our own ideas, and then later on we will start to compare both of our ideas and see whether if it's good or bad. If the bad part, we will like just change it or modify it, because maybe through the feedbacks we can modify the good design. And then, so the most important part for this is that yes, the furniture designers must know two things. One is the aesthetic appeal of the table and also the functional value, because what we produce will be a table and it's going to be used by students for the processes. So I'll pass it to Melvin to explain more about construction.
Good afternoon. My role is to talk about doing construction as a furniture designer do. The furniture designer will monitor the progress by constantly visiting the manufacturer, and instead of designing, the furniture designer will understand the procedure method by to ensure minimal flaw of the product. And the furniture designer will supervise the product to ensure that there is no misfits that will be brought up. And the furniture designer will monitor the installation of the product so that there will be no complaint. Okay, so finally, after construction, the furniture designer will give their own opinion and review of the product to the client. And if like tailors they go on table and it is not firm or unstable, tailors can file a complaint, and the furniture designer will take full responsibility to carry out the maintenance and repair the table. So I'll pass this to Natasha to conclude this presentation.
Okay. So this is our reference that we referred to when doing research on our product design in furniture. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who would like to give their time to listen to us. So thank you and have a nice day.